The most dangerous anger doesn't come from loud people. It comes from the kind ones, the patient ones, the ones who stay quiet and let things slide. They forgive, they tolerate, they understand, until one day, they're done. There's a profound misunderstanding about good-hearted people, a dangerous myth. We're told they are endlessly patient, endlessly forgiving. But that isn't the whole truth. Good-hearted people don't explode immediately. Their first instinct isn't retaliation, it's understanding. It's a quiet internal process of giving the benefit of the doubt again and again. They give chances, so many chances. They see a flicker of stress in someone's eyes, hear the exhaustion in their voice, and they build a bridge of empathy. They become architects of excuses for others. They construct entire narratives to soften the sharp edges of someone else's carelessness. They whisper to themselves, maybe they didn't mean it that way, or they must be going through something I don't know about. They tell themselves, it's not a big deal, trying to convince their own heart that the sting they feel isn't real. And so, they absorb the casual disrespect, the thoughtless comment, the broken promise. They swallow it down, quietly. And the world, seeing this repeated act of absorption, mistakes that silence for acceptance. It mistakes their deep reservoir of patience for weakness, a sign that they can be pushed further, that their boundaries are merely suggestions. But that silence is not weakness. It's storage. It's a vast internal warehouse where every slight is cataloged with perfect, chilling accuracy. Every ignored boundary, every dismissed feeling, every small, casual betrayal. It doesn't just vanish, it gets filed away. Each one is a small, heavy box, placed neatly on a shelf, waiting. The warehouse is dark and quiet, but it is filling up. And what people fail to realize is that warehouses have a capacity limit. Here's what most people don't understand about the quiet, kind people in their lives. We often mistake their gentleness for an absence of anger, as if they are immune to the very frustrations and injustices that ignite the rest of us. But the truth is far more complex, and it resides deep beneath that calm surface. Their anger isn't missing, it's meticulously managed. Kind people often suppress their anger because, in their internal narrative, expressing it feels like a betrayal of who they are. They don't want to become the villain in someone else's story, or even in their own. The very thought of causing pain or discord is so abhorrent that they choose silence over speaking their truth. They fear confrontation, not because they are weak, but because they are acutely aware of the damage words can do. They fear hurting others, because their empathy is a reflex, not a choice. And deep down, they carry a persistent fear of being too much, too loud, too demanding, too emotional. A fear that if they show the true depth of their feelings, they will be rejected for it. So instead of expressing anger, they perform an act of quiet alchemy. They bury it. They fold it up neatly and precisely and tuck it away in the deepest drawers of their minds, hoping it will simply cease to exist. It becomes a secret they keep, even from themselves. But suppressed anger doesn't disappear. An emotion is energy, and that energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be transformed. It seeps into the foundations of their personality, changing the architecture of their inner world. It turns into quiet resentment, a low hum of bitterness beneath every polite smile. It creates emotional distance, an invisible wall that even the most intimate partners cannot breach. It sharpens their mind into a tool of cold observation, where they analyze and catalog every slight, every disappointment, with detached precision. This is the critical truth. Repressed anger doesn't die. It doesn't fade or decay. It waits. It lies dormant, gathering evidence, gaining weight, and biding its time for the moment it can no longer be contained. Section 4. Why their anger is so dangerous. When a loud person gets angry, they explode and cool off. When a kind person reaches their limit, it's different. They don't scream. They detach. They don't threaten. They withdraw access. They don't fight. They decide. And that decision is usually permanent, because while you thought they were letting it go, they were emotionally preparing to let you go. When a good-hearted person snaps, they don't lose control. They lose attachment. And that's far more dangerous. This is the shadow psychology most people ignore. The nice persona is the mask, a reflection, not the whole face. The suppressed anger is the shadow, growing in the half-light. If someone constantly avoids conflict, their shadow grows stronger. Beat. It spreads, quietly. And when the shadow finally takes over, it's cold, calculated, unapologetic. Balance is healthy. Suppression is not. Let the steam out before the glass overflows. A kind heart with boundaries is powerful, firm, clear. A kind heart without boundaries is a ticking time bomb. The ember pulses, then detonates in silence. So don't fear the loud, angry person. Fear the quiet one who has been patient for too long. Because when they finally walk away, there's no argument, no closure, no return. The most dangerous anger comes from a good heart that finally decided it deserves better. The hidden side of human behavior, the shadow behind kindness, the psychology of power, silence, emotional control, the shadow behind kindness. The quietest person in the room often holds the most power. Every kind heart has a breaking point. I want to know, are you the quiet one who lets things slide, or the one who pushes too far? Comment your story below. Let's see how many people relate. If this opened your eyes, like, share, subscribe for more shadow psychology insights. Remember, understanding the mind is the first step to controlling the darkness.